license to drive a vehicle.
Okay. And what state is that?
Any state. It's common law, natural law,
Okay.
constitutional
All right.
law.
Okay.
Yep, sovereign citizen.
So
I'm
what law?
requesting your supervisor.
So just like I'm requesting your driver's license.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't have to have a driver's license to drive a vehicle.
Okay.
No,
Whether you
you're
agree or not doesn't matter. It's a
You
moot
take
point.
orders from the top. You don't know the laws and the rights. Sergeant, please.
You don't have a license.
Okay, I'll never drive again.
Yes, you will, because you believe you don't have to have a
I'll
license.
go get a driver's license tomorrow.
Well,
Ding, ding,
wait a
ding,
minute.
ding.
Now
That
you're
was
telling
good.
me that you'll go get a license,
Because you're
but
telling
yet
me
you
that I have no
believe
choice.
you don't. That's correct. You have no choice.
All right, we're back with another video. We have Kelly and we have James here, and we're going to watch another body-worn camera arrest video. Now, we haven't seen this. We don't know what the issues are. We haven't done any research on this at all. And that's kind of the point, right? You're going to see 3 criminal defense attorneys react to this legal situation in real time. And at the end, we're going to give grades about how the players did, right? How did they do in this legal situation? And I have no doubt that you guys in the comments will tell us everything that we did right and everything that we did wrong.
Young lady, Officer Banks, Golf Breeze Police Department. I'm pulling you over. You're doing 54 and a 35. Any reason for that speed tonight?
Where's the 35?
Well, before you got off the bridge, and as soon as you came off the bridge, all this is 35.
I was going 40, I thought.
Nope. You got your license, registration, proof of
Admission to
insurance.
You
speeding.
don't have to have
Right.
a license to drive a car.
Yes, you
You
do.
do not.
15-7, 41 with me. Ma'am, step out the vehicle. Step out the vehicle.
Am I
You,
have I
you're,
done a crime?
yeah, you are being detained right now. Step out the vehicle, young lady.
I know my rights.
Either you step out the vehicle, or I will remove you from the vehicle.
I know my rights.
15-7, sovereign
supervisor out here.
supervisor.
Have we ever
sovereign
talked
citizen.
about that before?
I know my rights.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good indicator that you don't.
The officers do not like that.
No. Well, forget if they like it or not. It's the fact that the person who says, I know my rights, just doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, like 99 times
Right.
out of 100, it seems like.
Yeah, she was pulled over for speeding. He asked for her license. That's a lawful request.
Yes, but then what did she, I kind of missed that. What did she say?
I
don't-
thought she said, I don't have to give you my license.
Which would be wrong.
correct.
She's the operator of the motor vehicle.
Yeah, she does have to give the license. He has the right to check if she's driving validly, if she has any warrants for her arrest, her name, her date of birth, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And because she did that, that now has caused the officer to escalate the situation and say, get out of the car.
Right. Yeah, and the officer's pretty aggressive. He's not tolerating the bullshit, but, you know, in terms of legal rights so far, it seems like she's wrong and the officer is right.
Yeah, she does not know her rights.
Right.
Citizen.
Did you hear what I said? You need to get a supervisor out here right now.
No, you need to step out the
You need
vehicle
to
right
get a
now.
supervisor out
Young
here
lady,
right
step
now.
out the
I know my
vehicle.
rights.
Step out the vehicle.
That
That's
she
something
actually
I'm
is
asking.
correct
I'm
on.
gonna ask-
You can ask for a supervisor
Yeah.
to come out to the scene.
Now, I'm not sure. I truly don't know the answer. I mean, do you still have to get out of the car in the meantime? You probably do.
I'd
Yeah.
say so.
Yeah.
I would.
Right.
Because that becomes an officer safety issue.
Right.
Right.
They're going to say, I need to check for weapons. and
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. She can request a supervisor. In fact, I would even go so far as to say, you know, especially if it's aggressive or combative or something, you should ask for a supervisor if you feel your safety's, you know, in jeopardy and there's only
and
one
you already
person.
said you're being detained
Yeah. Yep.
right there.
Yeah.
So
So it's totally reasonable to ask for a supervisor, but you still have to comply with the lawful
Right.
order to get out of your vehicle.
That also interesting for like a motion to suppress issue, right? She's pulled over for a petty. I guess she disobeyed the officer's lawful order. Is that a misdemeanor?
well, they start doing obstruction of justice.
Yeah,
and
well,
that-
if they charge her
handle-
for obstruction, but there is a crime that's disobeying a police officer. I
Right.
think it's a petty.
Right.
Yeah, I think you're right too.
So
Yep.
I don't know if she's arrested at this point. He said she
She's
was.
already detained. Yeah.
Right.
Detained. Yeah. Yep.
I'm going to ask, and then I'm going to make you step out the
You're
vehicle.
going to get me a supervisor out here right now.
No, you're going to step out the vehicle right
You
now.
are going to get me a supervisor out here right now.
That's fine.
I know my rights.
What right is that?
I do not have to have a driver's license to drive a car. I am not, this is not a commercial vehicle.
Okay.
I know my rights.
Okay. If I don't call supervisor, else what?
I guess
All
we're
right.
not
See,
going to go.
officer, just shut up.
I agree. I hate that back and forth. Like, take action. Don't argue with them.
Yeah. That's when you're losing control. And
Yeah.
Exactly.
Educate you on what the law is.
Okay. He could educate me on what the law is. What? So do you have an ID or you have a driver's license?
No, I don't have a driver's license on me.
Okay. Do you have one issued to you
In Mississippi.
in Mississippi?
Having a valid driver's license and not having it on you, like forgot my purse or my wallet at home, not a big deal, right? Like you're not getting arrested for that,
Right.
At least anytime I've ever seen.
In fact, if you're cooperating with the officer, you can give, here's my name, here's my birth date. If you know your driver's license number, that's really handy. It's
Right.
another good reason to memorize it.
Yeah, and they
just
can-
in case you don't have it.
Yep.
Here's my license number.
They
and
can
they
look
can
it
run
up.
you right away.
And they can even look up a photo of you when you give them that information. Also, PSA, you do have to have a driver's license to drive a vehicle.
Right, exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. There's just a difference.
Not just
between-
commercial vehicle. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, not just a commercial vehicle.
Right. She's wrong on that.
Yeah.
But I guess it really helps to have the context of what is a serious offense and what is not. And, I think they said 54 and a 35. By all accounts, in pretty much every state, I'm sure, at least here in Illinois, it's a minor ticket. They can't even arrest you for that. They can't even arrest
Get
you
the
for that
ticket.
alone.
Just have them issue the ticket.
Exactly.
This is escalating it,
Right.
where I'm guessing it shouldn't have to.
Exactly.
But probably the subtext probably doesn't have a license would be my guess. But
Right.
it's if you have it, produce it. That's one less headache.
It seems to us she was lawfully pulled over for speeding. She even admitted that she was speeding. The officer has the right to ask you for your driver's license. And therefore, you should provide it to not escalate the situation like this woman is. They also have the right to ask you out of your car.
So yeah, we know where the police officer's going with this. He wants to identify the driver. He has the right to identify the driver. We don't quite know where she's going with this, other than she knows the law.
Yeah, and to your point too, like if you're getting pulled over for something minor and you are cooperative, all the better for you, right? Like maybe they'll just let you go with a warning if you have a clean background, it wasn't egregious,
Yes.
But they're not going to do that. Like, I'm not giving you my driver's
Well, like
license.
here, they have the discretion to allow you to post a small cash bond or release you on your driver's license if you have one.
Yep.
But if you're not cooperative, you find yourself waiting in jail overnight till you can see the judge the next morning
Right.
or something. It's
Yep.
and if it's on a Saturday, you may be waiting until Monday morning.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Yeah, officers do have discretion, and you're probably not going to get it. The better part of that discretion.
no,
there,
not
the
like
rest of it.
this.
Yeah.
I don't have to have a driver's license to drive a vehicle.
Okay. And what state is that?
Any state. It's common law, natural
All right.
law,
Yep, sovereign citizen.
Okay.
constitutional law.
Okay. So
I am
what law?
requesting your supervisor.
So just like I'm requesting your driver's license.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't have to have a driver's license to drive a vehicle.
Okay. Sergeant Turner, A, she won't identify. She won't produce a driver's license.
Are you the
She's doing
supervisor?
58.
Okay, I do not have to have a driver's license to drive a vehicle.
He did say 54 earlier, now it's 58.
Her vehicle stopped for speeding. 54 and 35 coming off the bridge. She asked me where the speed limit was, saying that it's before she got off the bridge. She actually did a U-turn. We were in the 35 zone. We pull over here. I introduced myself. I said, any reason why we're driving this fast? And I said, you got your license. She immediately
This
goes,
should be occurring outside of her presence.
and then she said, I am traveling.
You're in the state of
It
Florida.
doesn't matter in what state
It
I'm
does
in.
matter.
I'm in the U.S.
It does matter. So you better hope the information you gave us comes back as to being you. So at this point in time, I need you to shut the vehicle off and step out of the car.
I'm not getting out of the vehicle.
You're gonna get out of the car.
I haven't been suspected of a crime.
You are being legally stopped on a traffic stop. You are not being
This is a Terry
cooperative.
stop.
It is not a Terry stop.
What
Trust
crime
me,
am
I know the
committing?
difference. You were speeding.
And I think a really, really important part of this is I've only ever seen someone make this argument after they're in trouble. Like, there's nobody out there, there's no like group saying like, actually making their argument for this, like on a legal basis, when they're not in trouble. Like proactive, you know what I mean? It's always
Right.
like a reactive, like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I'm in trouble, let me see if this works type argument.
Right.
Out of the car now. Undo the
Let me
seatbelt.
turn the vehicle off.
Turn it off now.
Officer Schaefer, unbuckle her.
Turn
I
around.
do not have to have a driver's license to drive a vehicle.
Yes, you do.
No, I do not.
Well, then you can tell that to the judge if you end up going to jail.
I do not have to have a driver's license to drive a vehicle. I have all the laws right there.
I
in the
don't
back
care
of my
what I don't
car.
care what laws you say you
I
have.
know that you don't care because you're
Then you
supposed
then
to be
you
a police
then
officer,
you should
a
know
peace
that
officer.
this is that you should know that this conversation's over then.
I need to call.
Have a seat.
I need to call somebody. Yes, I do.
You call somebody from Santa Rosa County Jail.
Excuse me.
You call somebody from Santa Rosa County Jail, you're under arrest.
I live right down there.
Where's your ID out of, or your license out of?
Mississippi.
I just thought you didn't have one. You
Sir,
just said you don't need one.
This is ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous.
Th-
We're not
yes,
going
it
to play
is.
any of these games with you tonight.
It's not a game. This is my rights as a,
It's not
as a
your rights.
citizen.
It's not your rights.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. State of Florida requires you to have a driver's
No,
license to operate a motor
no,
vehicle.
Sir, it doesn't matter what state I'm in.
See, that's your problem, is you say it doesn't matter, but it does.
I have
In
no
this country,
laws in
it
my
does.
car.
I don't care about what laws you say
Sir,
you have.
You should care about the
I
laws
don't.
and the rights
But
of citizens.
because if you knew your rights, you knew, or you would know, and should know, that you must have a driver's license to operate a motor vevehicle.
I'm surprised you opened the door back up to re-engage on
I
that.
know why.
I know.
You had the door
why.
closed. I'm like,
And especially, not that he needs it here, but like, officer, let her just keep going. Let her make her argument. Or don't, like close the door and move on. Or just let her argue. But every word that the officer says just makes me cringe because she's already under arrest. He knows that he's got the legal basis to do
she
so.
didn't fight coming out of the car.
Yeah.
She turned the vehicle off.
Yep.
The other, it looked like another officer reached in, undid the seatbelt.
Yep.
She got up. She turned around. She didn't resist.
Right.
She just wanted to talk.
And if
I've
I
been
find
this
out
through
that
cops.
if I find out that you are not giving us the right information to
I
identify
gave you the
you,
right information. Why would I do that?
Okay, so
I'm-
she
I'm
did give her
trying to
info. So
use my rights as a legal citizen. Why
why
would I
would you do that? Well, you would do that because you don't have a valid driver's license.
I don't have a valid driver's license. I don't have to have a valid driver's license.
You do.
No, I do not.
there's an arrest. That's
I do not.
probably a
Then we'll let
criminal
the judge
offense.
determine.
Definitely. It is here.
It is here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen a video in Wisconsin where driving on suspenders like a traffic ticket, but yeah, that's probably a criminal offense. That's the legal basis in addition to that obstructing maybe. But I think we didn't see it in the video because these things are clipped and whatever edited. But it seems like she gave info. The officer's still saying like if you gave me bad info.
Yeah.
How does he not know by now? I should have ran it. He should have been able to get that.
That's what I'm
back.
thinking. The officer made the stop should have been running it while
Right.
I assume
Yeah.
this is a supervisor
I
is
guess.
doing this part of it, right?
I think
Yeah.
he's a different guy.
They switched off.
Yeah, it's a different guy.
Because the camera switched too. The body cam
Yeah.
switched at that point.
Yep. So
No,
Whether you
you're
agree or not doesn't matter. It's a
You
moot
take
point.
orders from the top. You don't know the laws and the rights.
The laws and the rights.
You don't have a license.
Okay, I'll never drive again.
Yes, you will, because you believe you don't have to have a
I'll
license.
go get a driver's license tomorrow.
Well,
Ding, ding,
wait a
ding,
minute.
ding.
Now,
That
now
was
you're
good.
telling me that you'll go get a license,
Because you're
but
telling
yet
me
you
that I have no
believe
choice.
you don't. That's correct. You have no choice. You failed to appear on a court appearance for, what was it, expired license? So your Mississippi driver's license is expired, okay, and the registration. So you had a court date that you missed. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
You don't, or you choose not to?
No, sir. I would not lie to you. I don't lie. I do not remember that.
Okay, well, you do have a warrant out of Santa Rosa County. You are going to jail tonight.
Well, thank you, Sergeant Turner.
You're welcome. I
Y'all
know.
could let me go and handle my warrant tomorrow.
No, we can't.
Right.
no, that's not happening.
Yeah. Also incorrect.
I don't have anything to prove. My officer certainly doesn't have anything to prove. But what
Yeah.
what
Stop
we want
engaging
you
in
to
this.
understand is there are laws that you have to follow. Whether you agree with them or not is a moot point. Because if you choose not to follow them and you continue to act like this and do this, you're just going to constantly be going to jail.
Right, so
Is
you
that
do
what
have a
you really
choice.
want?
I'm not acting like or doing anything like.
You told us that you don't have to have a driver's license to drive.
Can I please call my
No,
mother?
you will be able to call your mother from the jail. By the time you get booked in and everything, it'll be early enough in the morning. You can call her and she'll probably be getting up.
This is gonna
So
take
why-
hours.
It's not going to take hours,
Not
but
a
it's going to
quick
take some
process.
Sergeant
time.
Turner, please.
No, you know what I'm actually worried about? People like
You're
you
actually worried
who
about
think that
meeting your
laws
quota.
don't. No,
There-
there is no
no,
quota.
there
It's
are
people
laws
like
that
you
don't
who
matter.
believe that laws don't pertain to them. And that's just
They
not
don't.
the case.
This is the thing, like he's
Then
not
enjoy
changing her
spending your
mind.
lifetime in and out of
She's
jail.
not changing his
Because
mind.
that is what will
She's
happen.
in cuffs, shut the door,
That
take her
would-
in.
I would
If you
agree with that.
continue
It's
to
gone
act-
on a little long. I don't know if he's trying to bait her into something.
Yeah,
right.
what is
You
the
know,
point of
'cause
this?
She's explained the situation. You are under arrest. You're going to be able to get out tomorrow morning. You close the door.
Yep.
You can make your call at the jail.
Yep.
There's nothing unusual about
Yeah.
any of that.
Yep.
And
right.
don't
Close the
wake
door.
up your mom, to come and wait at the jail too. That's
I
just
would
wrong.
wake up.
She's talking about karma, calling your mom
Yeah.
in the middle of the night when she's sleeping
Right.
to come bail you out. That's wrong.
Right.
If you're in the back of the squad car, shut up and try to say
Yes.
Yeah. How much is this going to cost me to get out? That's all you want to know.
Yes. And it will take a couple hours. They're gonna process it. They're
Sure.
gonna take photos, fingerprints.
Yeah, they're gonna run your fingerprints.
Write
They
a
have
whole
to
police
get the
report.
data. Also, if you have a warrant too, depending on what that's for.
And she did have a warrant, so that's another issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Close. I want this video to end.
Me
Like,
too.
close it there and charge it
Yeah.
Yes.
and move on. Right.
And because it's not, I feel like something
I know.
is about to
Right.
escalate.
Something's coming up still.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It will.
I'm not acting like anything. I'm
Then
telling
I would
you
suggest
that
moving
what my
back to
rights
Mississippi.
are. I'm not moving back to Mississippi.
Then if
either.
you stay living here and driving a car without getting a valid driver's license, that is what is going to happen.
I've already been through roadblocks with state troopers with this.
Then they're not very good state troopers. No, no. If they let you through with this garbage, they're not.
This is not garbage.
It's garbage.
Have you done any research into it?
More than you will ever know. You're
Okay,
not
but
the
then
first
you would know
one.
it's not
You're not
garbage.
the first person I've run across that thinks this way. And,
Yeah, I know.
And
We're a
those
problem right
those
now.
other people went to jail too.
This officer's not a fan of the sovereign
not-
citizen.
Doesn't
No.
change the
Shouldn't
fact that I
happen.
do not have to have a driver's license to drive a vehicle.
I suppose you don't have to have a registration either.
No.
Your tag's expired.
Okay. You know who I am. You run my tag.
So here's what I
So
am
she had a
curious.
driver's license at one point and valid registration. She just let them expire. So at one point, she did believe that these
Yes.
things were necessary to operate a lawful vehicle.
Yes, but I think there's some nuance there. I mean, yes, people get to that point of sovereign citizenship. I think what I've seen is because their back is against the wall.
Yeah.
Right? When this person, I don't know, her mom was paying for insurance and like she was 17 years old, whatever, right? But now, for whatever reason, she's had other arrests and other cases.
Yeah, she's moved. She has a
financial issues, so I can't get the registration or whatever, but I still got to get to work, which I sympathize with. But like, there's something there that causes you to say, maybe sovereign citizenship is the
Yeah.
answer to all my problems.
Right.
It's not, but
Yeah.
like, that's sort of an act of desperation as I see it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree. Like somebody whispered in her ear about sovereign citizenship and then she went down this rabbit hole. But the
Yeah.
thing is, like, when you try it once and it's not effective, you would learn.
You go get your license renewed.
Yeah. It's like, it doesn't even seem like she's suspended. They just
Yeah.
said it was expired.
Right.
Like, just
Yeah,
go to the
no.
DMV. None of us
Yeah.
like to go to the DMV,
You moved to another
but
state anyway. You got to get the
yeah.
license.
Right.
Every few years, you got to go down there and get
Right.
it.
And not liking, like, the registration on that little sticker you buy and you put on
Yeah,
your
it's like
license plate.
$150.
I have no idea why I pay it. I hate
Yeah,
paying it. I
highway
don't know what
robbery.
it does. They're milking us for money. I
Yeah.
get it. Not liking it is different than saying I don't need it.
What motivates me to renew my registration is that having it expired is probable cause to pull you over.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And I don't want to give the
And
officers probable cause to pull me over.
Yeah, and you're especially the way you've been riding dirty. All right, let's go.
Is that your car?
Yes, that's my
So
car.
you're the registered owner of that car.
Yes.
So at one point it had a valid tag and registration.
Right. Because if I rode around without any tag, that would just be asking you for trouble.
So instead you're okay just riding around with an illegal expired tag.
It's not illegal.
So you're basically masking the fact that you don't believe the laws apply to you. And
I
so-
have to do whatever I have, run through these hoops that y'all put us through just to get by.
You mean where's the gun in the car?
The gun?
Mm-hmm.
There's no gun in that car.
There seems to be ammo.
The gun's in a pawn shop
When did you pawn it?
like 2 months ago.
So why are you still just carrying around ammo?
I didn't know that ammo was in there. What's wrong with carrying around ammo? What can I
Nothing.
do without a gun?
Nothing.
In Florida, especially.
All right, is wrong with it. But if there's ammo, normally there's a gun. And since the vehicle's being towed, we want to keep the gun in safekeeping.
There we go.
Before we go any further on that, people watching may be saying, like, why are they searching this vehicle, right? How did the officers get in the vehicle in the first place? We didn't see any consent or anything like that. Either you want to touch on that?
Sure.
Well, I think she created that with the not giving the license, refusing to step out. Then they had to enter the vehicle to get her out. She's under arrest now. So now they're doing a search incident to tow would be my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Searches to arrest. Yep.
Yeah, so I agree. It's an inventory search, we call it, or, a tow search, basically. And in Illinois, when they are doing an inventory search, they need to have some sort of policy. It could be written or not written. Also, they have to have a reason to tow the vehicle. So like if the vehicle was, say, legally parked in like a Walmart, for example, that like allows you to stay overnight and it's not like obstructing traffic or anything, they can't just tow. But I would say here with the expired tags, that would be reason enough.
At least here where we're at, if you're getting taken out of your car and arrested, 99 times out of 100 they're towing your vehicle.
Sometimes you can fight
in.
in a tow search though if like they could have just left the vehicle there.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Yep. But
Also, they should literally inventory all of these items. So a lot of times we see officers doing this inventory search and they search everything and leave it all in the car.
Yeah.
That's not an inventory search. They should take everything, create an inventory list and say like backpack, phone, white powdery substance, and then give that to her, before she leaves the station. The purpose of an inventory search is to protect like the items in the car and the police from allegations that the officers took something. Like, for example, there could be cash in the car.
Yeah.
So you don't maybe want like somebody at the tow lot to take it and then blame the officers.
Which is what happens. And then they have a list of everything that was missing from the car because that's what happened when they got to the tow lot.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
the toll lot took it, right? But this is gonna absolutely be considered, in my opinion, a legal search because she was legally arrested, and they have to do something with the car. They inventory it, they move the car, they find what they find when they inventory and search the car.
So I know it's different in Florida, but like here, if she didn't have a FOID card,
Yes.
she wouldn't have been able to have the ammunition
Yes.
either, which would have been a Class A misdemeanor as well.
Yes, correct. If you know you have something that can get you arrested on you, if you're possessing something, gun, drug, ammunition, something, right? A body in the trunk, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Here's how you to be a criminal 101. Don't get yourself arrested and get your car towed because they're
Yeah.
going to find those things.
Right.
How could she have avoided getting arrested? Two ways. She could have been polite and apologetic and, yeah, give me the ticket, officer. Or she could have just shut up and said nothing about the speeding, identified herself. My name is Susie Smith, S12345 is my driver's number, date of birth is whatever, and given her those basics, then shut up. And wouldn't have given them a reason to arrest her, wouldn't have given them a reason to, probably wouldn't have given them a reason to arrest her or even get in the car in the first place. So it's like, this is not just bad argument, not just bad law, it's just being a bad criminal.
Once you hear the words "you're detained," stop talking.
talking.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yes.
You have no obligation to talk. At
No
that point.
benefit.
Look at me. Give me your full name. Give me your full name. Drugs inside the vehicle. You are under arrest now for possession of felony narcotics.
I didn't give y'all permission to search my vehicle either.
Your vehicle's being towed. We're inventorying it. We're not searching it.
Yes, you are. You're searching my vehicle.
You say that you don't know anything.
Pickpocket everybody.
You don't know anything about us.
I do.
To sit there and
I
say
do.
that I don't help anyone, that my officers over there don't help anyone.
Y'all aren't helping me right now.
You're not helping yourself because you choose to
No,
not
no,
get a
no,
valid
no,
driver's
that's,
license.
That's totally changing.
You're just playing a victim.
I'm not playing a victim. My opinion is that.
Okay, you got charges.
That's
So
fine.
that warrant is.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
DUI.
DUI too. All right.
Didn't even see that.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. All right.
Wow.
Yeah, the DUI. So there's a couple different ways that could have happened, right? There was no mention of any alcohol or anything. She could have consented. I doubt she would, but she could have consented to a drug test. She could have been tested
I'm
for.
guessing it was drugs.
Right.
It's the alcohol or drugs is what's listed there.
Right. Drug.
They didn't say anything about odor of alcohol.
No.
No.
She didn't appear to have any indicators.
No.
So
I didn't think her eyes were a little bloodshot at one point, but it was 2 a.m. I definitely didn't think her speech was slurred.
No.
They didn't mention anything about it. I mean, yeah, when they went back to the station, maybe they could have asked her to do fields or consented to.
She was already under arrest, so they can still run her through the test.
Right.
Even though
Yeah.
she's not in the field.
yeah,
It's-
there's two ways I could see a drug DUI sticking. Both of them would be her running her mouth, say admitting to, it's not illegal. I did, blow a half hour ago before driving, right? Like,
Right.
there you go. You just
Yeah.
walked yourself into the DUI.
Right.
Or, I don't know about Florida specifically, but if you are operating the vehicle with cocaine in your system, that is per se a DUI here in Illinois. So if she did consent to a blood or urine test and there was, cocaine found in her blood or urine, then she's going to get a DUI.
Which would be a shame if that's
well.
the one time she decided to cooperate is to
Yeah.
provide the blood test.
Exactly. Right.
This is why we recommend people never to do the
Lawyer up.
blood or urine tests, because just because she maybe did cocaine yesterday or the day before, it doesn't mean she was under the influence
Right.
at the
Right.
time that she was driving. But if it's in your system,
Yep.
that's all they need. Same thing with especially cannabis.
Right.
People smoke cannabis that stays in your system for like a month approximately. Obviously, there's varying degrees and stuff like that. But you could have smoked 2 weeks ago and you're not at all under the influence. You give your blood and there's cannabis in it. And if you are a regular smoker, it could be above the per
It'd
se
probably be
limit.
enough, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now you have a DUI drugs in your background.
Yep. Interestingly, I don't see anything here about obstructing or driving upper remote vehicle without a valid license. I don't see anything here about obstructing or even the speed.
Even the
ticket.
tags. She didn't put
Yeah,
them
the
in.
speed. Maybe they're there and they just didn't list them, right? 'Cause
That
it
Or
could
was
that'd be a
traffic.
petty.
Yeah, it'd be
Maybe they
traffic
just did
offense.
disobeying a police
Okay.
officer. But if I was the officer, I would have charged her with the obstructing because that supports, how quickly they detained her.
I'm sure they
Right.
did. I mean, I'd be surprised if they didn't. but
Right, exactly, yeah.
I'd love to find out what happened with this case.
Yeah. So the main takeaway for me is kind of, well, one, sovereign citizenship. Good luck with that, guys. But two, I don't think the police should be stopping everybody on the road and trying to get in the car. And officers absolutely overreach. I don't think they did here necessarily, but they do, right? And so how do you combat that? You do actually know
With
your
the
rights.
laws. Put the laws in your car.
Yeah,
Drive
there you
around
go,
with them and
yes.
tell the officer that you know
Book
them.
in the back of your car and you're fine. Yes. No, is what I said at the beginning is to know, actually know your rights and know the context with which you are in and don't give them more than they need. By trying to not give them more and trying to show off her legal knowledge, she gave them more and put herself in this situation. She could have totally avoided it.
I think it's interesting too, like what the sergeant was saying. Like, if you believe in the U.S. Constitution, then you believe that the states have the right to govern themselves,
Yep,
right?
right.
You'd think that therefore they would also believe in, right, like the judiciary, executive branch. If so, then you have to believe that like the legislatures can make laws per state, right?
I think it's very dangerous trying to make a logical
Okay.
argument with
Yeah.
sovereign citizenship. Yeah, it's an argument out of desperation.
Yeah.
not an argument out of logic.
Mhm.
All right, interesting one here. So now we got to give grades, guys. So let's start with the officer first. How did he do, James?
I'll give the officers B plus to an A.
Yeah, how
Both
come?
of them. I mean, because the first officer, he did get the supervisor there.
Mhm.
Supervisor spent a lot of time trying to explain the process, what's going on. So argued with him a bit too much, right? If you
Yeah.
want to play it straight, you explain it, this is why you're being placed under arrest. You close the door.
Mhm.
You don't keep the conversation going.
Right.
But, yeah, I'd say,
Yeah.
I'll be kind. I'll say an A minus.
Yeah, all right. All right.
I'm in a good mood today.
What about you, Kelly?
I would give the officers a C.
Combined. Both of them combined,
Yeah,
huh? Yeah.
I would. I mean, I think that the stop was lawful, that she was speeding. She admitted speeding. Yeah, right away I thought he was kind of aggressive with her, had an attitude with her. And he also, the arresting officer, like argued with her a lot back and forth before calling the sergeant. I think he could have, gotten her out of the car, called the sergeant. I didn't like the back and forth with the sergeant. Like, again, you're not changing her mind. She's not changing your mind. There's no reason for it. That could escalate things. Like, they had the right to do what they did. Just arrest her and get on with your day.
Yeah, I agree. Both of you guys are saying the same thing, which is on a legal basis, I think the officers did pretty much everything right. You know, there was a little bit of aggressive talk, but I mean, they didn't rip her out of the car, you know, at the first sign of her not complying or anything like that.
Right.
So I think they handled it well overall. But yeah, you know, again, it's like trying to win an argument that's not going to be won and doesn't matter, you know, like and. So, you know, you could say it comes from a good place. Like, as a young girl, I want to show her that, you know, I'm right and she's wrong. I don't know. And then, so she stays out of trouble in the future. But that's not really what was happening. He was really just trying to win an argument after she's in the back of his squad.
Yeah,
So-
it seems like an ego issue.
A little bit. But so you get marked down a little bit for that. But overall, he was in the right legally. So now, was she in the right legally, James? Give us
Now
a grade
her,
on her.
I'd have to give a C- too, if not a D.
Yeah?
Again, I'm in a positive mood.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
are.
failing her. I guess the fail is you are in the back seat of that
That's a
squad
fail.
car. So yeah, that should be an F right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Kelly?
I would give her a D. I mean, I want to save my Fs for people that like really, really deserve it.
Yes.
Yeah, like Grandma Karen. But I mean, yeah, she didn't help herself at all. She made things way worse for herself, especially knowing that she had cocaine in the car. Like,
Yeah.
she should have just, like we said earlier, been polite, say, you know, I don't have a DL. Maybe she would have just gotten let go with petty offenses. The only reason I'm not giving her an F if she wasn't like belligerent.
Right. That's true.
You know, when she kind of knew things were getting serious, she was like, all right, I will get out of the car.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
go to the DMV tomorrow. You know, just let me go.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, you're right. Obviously, that's better than, you know, trying
The
to
exit
fight
was
you.
a lot smoother on both ends than I thought.
It
But
was.
But at first I thought when the officer was saying, you have to get out of the car, and she's like, no, I don't. No,
Yeah.
and I thought, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
gonna
They're
get
going to take
tased.
her out.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's when I think he did the right thing, backing off,
Yep.
call the supervisor, get some more officers on scene. We're going to try and de-escalate this
Yeah.
a little bit. And then she got out, and she got out in a cooperative fashion. So
Yep. And
that's
I-
the part that could have turned ugly real
I
quick.
agree. And so, yeah, it's not a terrible grade for that. So I'll grade specifically on sort of from a legal standpoint only. She gets an F because she was wrong from the start. And that's okay. I don't expect every citizen to know every single law. I don't, that's for sure. So that's not what the grade is. The grade is that you thought you did, you acted like you did, and you made your own legal situation, and quite honestly, your life worse as a result of that, right? And so then
sure.
those two things compounded. That's why I'm giving that the F.
Mhm.
Sure, I can think of scenarios where it's worse, but
Yeah.
you know, yeah, she made
Yeah.
it harder on herself.
Yeah. I don't expect everyone to know all the laws, but I do expect everyone to know that you have to have a driver's license to drive a car.
Yes, that's true.
You start simple things like, I know my license is expired. I just moved to the state. I'm trying to get some money together for my registration. You're likely to get more of a sympathetic scenario. Okay, let's park your car over here. We'll write you the tickets. You know, we'll get
Based
you
on
right home.
everything I
Yeah.
saw on that, she would not have a DUI. She would not have
Yeah.
a felony possession.
Yeah.
Right.
He may have let her slide on the driver's license too. You know what I mean?
You never know.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's a good chance. So yeah, exactly. And for that reason, give her the F. Yes. All right. Very good. All right, there you have it, guys. That's our reaction to this arrest video. I got a feeling there's going to be some comments on this one, maybe even from some people that believe in this sort of sovereign citizen movement, if you will. If you're one of those, let me hear it. Tell us how we're totally wrong about the law on this one. And if that's not you, let us know. Have you ever dealt with this or seen this sovereign citizen thing before? We certainly have seen it crop up from time to time, but never has really worked, just like it didn't work for this girl here in this video. Thanks for watching.